Hey guys, welcome back. I am Truly Evil Bob, and we are going to start a new Ravenloft campaign. We did a short little adventure earlier, and it was a lot of fun with Dr. Mordenheim, the bride of Dr. Mordenheim. But today, we are doing the classic adventure, The Evil Eye, written by Steve Kurtz. Today with us, we have our regular group of adventurers. We have Jonathan. How you doing, sir?
Good, you?
I'm running the game. I love it. Who are you playing again? Remind everybody.
Apothnesko is a half-orc fighter.
Thaddeus, how you doing?
I'm alright.
All right.
Playing Zebulous Newt, human cleric, worships the god Zygag.
And Winter, thanks for joining us again. We can barely see you. Get further. Turn your camera.
I'm shy today. My back keeps swollen. Sorry.
So who are you playing? Remind everybody.
I'm playing Amaranth Augustia, and she is the rogue halfling.
The rogue halfling. When last we left off, you were returning to town with Katrina, the niece of Dr. Victor Mordenheim, who was trying to perform some dire experiment on her. You're not sure exactly what it was, but it couldn't have been good. You were soundly thrashed, but you escaped with her alive, and now you're heading back home. It took you 2 days' travel, but Katrina has ample provisions for you, and you make it. Let me find out what town you're in.
We can call it soundly thrashed.
You were soundly thrashed.
One case of shell shock, and then everyone else unscathed.
Well, you were
If we
treated.
fought, we might have been soundly thrashed.
You're in the city of Ludendorff. It is a walled town. They do let you in during the day. At night, they close the gates. They don't let anybody in or out this place. This place is freaky.
So, are there clues in this town? Do we know what we're going to do next? Are we going to rest?
Well, Katrina says that she's going to part ways with you for now. She's going to return home, and tell her family what has happened.
And raise an army.
And raise an army.
Pitchforks.
Are we going to, reconnect with her later? Or...
Yeah, but right now we're just, at loose ends.
You looking for armor and weaponsmith? You actually hear about a rumor that there is a weaponsmith that is selling stuff cheaper outside of town.
Is it, legit stuff, or is this, a crook? If we're going outside of town to buy from him.
So you've heard things around town about this guy named Raoul, who's a blacksmith who lives outside of town. He is also a Vistani, which is a gypsy. And people are afraid of those. They don't want to get cursed. They don't want a Vistani curse put on them. He seems to be a very competent blacksmith, and he seems to be undercutting other people in town. That said, there are other rumors that you're hearing. It seems to be that in the middle of the night, there are strange lights coming from that area. And the regular town blacksmith is convinced that he's harboring, vampires.
Well, cheap magic items would be nice.
And even if we don't need the armor, it would be a clue, something to do.
It's a trap.
It's a trap, yeah, so his stuff is, maybe it's all illusionary. That broadsword is really a stick. Just should go check it out since there's nothing else to do.
The lights sound familiar. It sounds like what was in the other place, so I think we should check it out.
Sure, although the regular blacksmith would say that about his competition.
So you go to see Raoul's camp. It isn't hard to find at all. There seems to be a makeshift blacksmith forge set up there, a fire pit, some bellows, and he seems to be living out of a grotto, which is like one of those little gypsy trailers.
Okay.
He told you to talk us again.
A vardo. Am I saying that right? Vardo?
I have no idea.
Raoul is a squat, heavily muscled man with massive arms and broad shoulders. He is physically in the prime of his life. His face is heavily lined with creases and his eyes are bloodshot. His hair and drooping mustache has turned almost entirely white. Raoul dresses in black clothing with tall boots, covered in a sooty brown leather apron. You come upon the camp, and He walks towards you. Strangers? Ooh, who are you?
So I'm Zebulous Newt, cleric of Zygag. I recently lost my quarterstaff, and I'm looking for a replacement. Do you deal in wooden weapons, or just metal?
I have all sorts of weapons here. You could probably find a staff. Let us check my inventory. So he takes you down through the inventory, and he's got pretty much any weapon you could possibly consider having. They seem to be of a high quality.
Well, we could say that we just went through the last city. What was it called?
Ludendorff.
Ludendorff. We just came through there, and we'd heard we'd heard some strange stories there. We're not from around here. We heard about some mansion
On a cliff.
on a cliff, yeah, which had similar lights to the lights that we saw at his place, and we were curious as to what those were because we hadn't seen them ourselves yet.
The townspeople, they don't trust me. I'm glad you're not from the town. Perhaps I could change your mind about the authenticity of myself. My weapons.
They do look excellent.
Why, thank you.
We don't have any bias against him like the people in the town. We're just, we're curious. We heard they were cheaper here, so we thought we'd check it out and give him a chance.
Apothnesko, you notice something odd next to the Vardo. There seems to be an iron crib.
Oh joy. Anyway, I'm going to ask him how much this stick is.
All right.
Pick one up.
Well, are we supposed to see this crypt? We're not like sneaking around. It's just there, right?
It's just there next to the Vardo. It's just if you go over to where the weapons are, you wouldn't necessarily see it. But if you go over to where the Vardo is, it's plainly there.
Okay, so maybe we should point it out and just, be like, hey, what's in there? Do you have any more items in there?
Vampire baby.
I'm busy looking at weapons, so I'm not paying attention to the
You can get a quarterstaff for 1 silver piece.
That is cheap.
And it has metal fittings on it, so it won't wear.
Excellent. I will take one.
Okay, so can I ask about the...
He goes,
crib?
The crib? That is where my son Nico is.
Oh. Is he a salesman as well, or a gypsy?
He is a baby. He is my baby boy.
Do you have a wife here, a spouse?
No. My wife, she passed away very recently.
That's unfortunate.
It is. I miss her quite deeply.
What happened to her?
My beloved wife, she died giving childbirth to Nico. Now I am stuck raising him on my own.
That sounds difficult.
Yeah, that sounds very difficult. It sounds almost as if you resent Nico, though, for what happened to your wife.
I do not. I love my son very deeply. But he's fallen ill. I think he's sick. I don't know what to do. The people in town, they do not help me.
Maybe it's something like what the maternal aunt had. Maybe it's like something similar. Something to go off of. Guys?
Vampires.
No, that's... Well, let's ask him about the mansion on the hill, and then...
We already asked him that. He didn't really... We asked about the electricity that he had there, and that one. But maybe we can ask him about the sickness, like what kind of sickness it is.
Yeah, I mean, does he think something in town will help?
And can we help him in any way?
Well, you can take a look. You are a priest, are you not?
Yes, I am.
Do you know how to heal?
Yeah, that's my speciality, actually.
Excellent. Please, take a look at my son and see if you cannot give it your God's blessings. Baby's in the crib, next to the Verado.
And we take off the cover and...
You see a very pale, sickly-looking child.
I can do cure-like wounds, but I don't have any magic to cure disease yet. I'm not that high level.
Does the father have anything he could ask us to do? Anything we can get in the town, or?
Yeah, is there some medicine in town that he knows of? Since he's concerned, I mean, the townsfolk won't help him.
Yeah, but they'll probably help us if they don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We could be middlemen.
Well, he seems quite reserved and at first he gets a little quiet. And then he says, I don't think the town has anything that they can do to help me.
Well, is there anything else we can do? Not like you have anything else planned for the day?
I mean, I'm sure he's been looking for a cure for rumors for everything. How long has the kid been sick?
Well, can you please heal my son first, and maybe I can tell you.
Yeah, try.
Absolutely. So I usually cure light wounds.
All right.
And mumble a prayer.
A rush of vitality flows back into the child. It seems like the Cure Light Wound spell did help it quite a bit. Though it still seems a bit sick, will definitely make it through the night. Well, thank you very much. I think I've misjudged you. Let me tell you what has been going on, and I hope you can give me forgiveness for this.
Uh-oh.
These lights that the townspeople see, they are not seeing things. Every evening, my wife comes, and she gives care to little Nico. And I cannot stop her. I love her too much. I play my violin for her every evening, and every evening she comes. And then we are together again. And then, after the night ends, she leaves.
When you said that she gives care to Nico was so sick, do you mean that is she really taking care of him, or do you think her presence might have been making him sick?
She always appears in the middle of the night. I get some hours of sleep, but at midnight she comes, and then I play for her. First she goes over to Nico, and she gives him milk, and then she comes to me.
Raoul, concerned about your wife visiting your child at night. The thing is, ghosts, they tend to drain the life force of living things around them, and while she's trying to give care to Nico, she may actually be harming him unintentionally. I've never heard of that.
You obviously care about your son. You said you care about your son, and we're very sorry for your wife's passing, but if you're not careful with this, then your son might pass as well, and you won't have either one of them. So maybe there's something we can do to try to prevent your wife from coming and making your son sick like this.
I think that is a wise thing to say. I am a fool. I'm a foolish man. Maybe.
No, you just love her.
Maybe you can help me move on. Maybe you can see her tonight and convince the ghost to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, we can try that.
Then she says to you, "To whom do you owe your allegiance?"